Introducing PubCoin. PubCoin is the rewards program for pub sports contributors. Regular chat contributors share their play of the day, POD, in the YouTube chat, including the phrase POD in their message. At the end of the week, the amount of units earned are converted into PubCoins. PubCoin can be used as reward points for prizes, shop discounts, and contests.
Hey, what's going on, y'all? It's Mills here, Pub Sports Radio. Do you guys want to challenge the personalities here at Pub Sports Radio? Do you guys think you're better than them at entering in your MMA predictions and picks? Would you want to get paid for it? $100? Here's how you do it, man. You sign up right here at the link below. It's just this easy. PubSportsRadio.com. Enter your email. Pick your weekly picks. That's it. Oh, and you get bonus points if you can predict how they're going to win in what round. Every single week, a new winner's getting crowned. So every Saturday on Pub Sports Radio. So come on and check us out. You can win $100 just for signing up. Only thing you need to do is see if you can beat us here at Pub Sports Radio by entering your UFC predictions and picks weekly. Do it. I dare you. See you guys soon.
Your membership to Gold, you will be automatically entered in every horse race, every Wednesday and Friday. It is time to race horses. We are racing camels today.
Shout out to the Gold members. We're racing in San Antonio immediately here. And we're off. 2 minutes, 74 canals on this racetrack. It's wide. We're racing in San Antonio.
Pat Wally moving forwardly. Jeff Slaughter in the mix as well. And as is Randall Sheffield, who's put that beautiful nose out front.
But it's actually real grass here, Jimmy. Maybe Kentucky bluegrass. Oldie, no! There he goes. Oldie in the lead now. K. Wolf falls back. The horses love it. Sometimes they stop and eat it on the way to the finish line. That's why your horses start so far in the back. Here. Oh, look at Nussflush Allen bursting out here. J-Dub in the mix. Rude Boy up here as well. Jimmy, take it away.
There's Oldie. Oldie is moving to the front. We are past the halfway mark in our 2 mile. And there's Ricky Levy.
Oh my goodness, he's in the mix here. Jimmy, take it home. This is our first dog race ever.
19 seconds left in the horse race here. It's Fernando Mendoza trying to find the wire. 14 seconds left. Can Fernando Mendoza take this home? Here comes Kenny Ken. Kenny Ken wants a piece of the pie. Put his schnoz up front. Ricky Bobby, 9 seconds left. Can Donut Silks make a run? Can Res Mall make a run to be $50?
You son of a bitch!
Here comes Tori Coker. Kenny Ken, Smoke and Mirrors, Director 97. Home. That is a way. Here comes Jason Meyer, the Eldorado custodian. Billy Friedrich. Jones all coming down the advantage.
Coin! Meyer, that's nowhere!
Oh no! Fanatical Jim!
From the Parker Peter Loshak, legendary sports handicap mode, dapper than a dawn. Father young phenom, known as Jimmy, who declared one day that the bag was here to stay. Information like a PSA, when we all PSR, Pub Sports Radio, bizarre. Is a man named Slaughter and he flipped the script. No competition in this they quit the trip. But we say we be pubbing, better with the bag and you love it. We want it top 10, we above it.
Pub Sports Radio is very excited to announce the dates for Pubapalooza 4. The most exciting weekend of the gambling year. Round 1 of March Madness. It's all going down in San Antonio, Texas at the Southtown 101, Thursday the 20th till Sunday the 23rd. It's going down, baby.
Scheduled events every day that weekend. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's all going down in Southtown 101. Come hang out with some of your favorite Pub Sports Radio personalities.
I can't wait. Meet us in Texas, baby. It's going.
Right on, right on. Welcome to Pub Sports Radio. Oh, you're right here, Mr. Gokes. We got 10 games on the card, NHL, and you got to leave it at 11:30 Eastern time on the dot.
Yeah, 11:35.
11:35. All right. Huge shout out to everyone in the comments section, and then shout out to Corey Coker in the comments section. Corey Coker, let us know anything, man. That Mr. Gokester. I know you know already, but just a reminder. Listen 2 and 3 times to whatever Corey Coker says. And hail. Now, I don't know if I'm not going to jinx anything, but the guy is hail-worthy and listen-worthy. Shout out to everyone in the comments section. Justin McElvey, the Sweaty Butcher, Nuke Worker Kong's Clips. All right. Yeah, I do like that new song. We're going to cover a bunch of bowl games with Dabby Cab, whole bunch of shit. Right now, though, because Mr. NHL Diva, Mr. Gokester, only has 35 minutes with us. 30 minutes. We got 10 games on the card, and so we got to get through it as fast as we can. No bullshit. Let's start. You ready to go, Gogi?
Let's go.
All right, let's go. First game on the NHL card. Everyone, tell us what you think on all these games. Buffalo, Montreal. Now, this is an interesting one here. You tell me, Mr. Gokester. Gogi, I've been doing all right. I don't want to jinx myself. I've been doing all right in the NHL recently. I did not take Florida to win last night, but I did take their team total over. I was like, these guys are going to come out scoring. These kinds of situational games are matches, are the games, are the kinds of things that you can find big edges in NHL. Buffalo, Montreal. Buffalo, of course, cannot buy a win. 10 straight losses. The question is, how bad, how awful are they really? They're definitely salty, right? Buffalo's going to be pissed. At some point, they're going to get a win. They've lost 10 in a row. Here, they're a road favorite against Montreal. I've been betting Montreal recently in spots. Montreal is they're an average team, but they have good value, especially in spots. They're a team that can get you wins. They're off of, 2 tough losses. So it's not a great spot to fade Montreal at home. But you have Buffalo, 10 straight losses, road favorite here against Montreal. They're going to be pissed. I'm thinking this might be a spot to take Montreal. Buffalo. Maybe Buffalo gets the win here. What do you think, Gogi?
Not so fast, Pistol. I'm not too sure about that. The spot is bad, too, for Buffalo. I didn't realize they lost 10 in a row, But third game in 4 nights for these guys, all on the road, too. At Washington, at Toronto on Sunday, day off. Now they're going to Montreal. Darlene, too. Looks like Darlene, Pete. He's been out for a bit there. Darlene doesn't look like he's going to be in. Then the other side, Montreal is completely healthy here. I think this is a Montreal. The line is quite surprising. Minus 5 on a team that's lost 10 in a row. Montreal is not playing. The 9-2 loss to Pittsburgh, 4-2 against a good Winnipeg team. They got Buffalo. This is a game they should handle. Looking at the goalies quickly, Luke Kokkonen, he's not playing too well. Both goalies are kind of a little iffy right now. 3.6, 3.1 goals against. But Luke Kokkonen, he does have a 4-2-1 record, 9.22 save percentage on the road. So he has been better on the road, but until they get back, their number one defenseman, Pete, 10% power play too, 17% for Montreal. The healthy team. I would lean to the under. These totals are really low today, but I'm going to take Montreal money line, Pete, plus 110. If it loses, it loses. But at this number, I'm going to bite on it. I just think the spot's really bad for Buffalo too. And Montreal coming off those 2 losses. Give me Montreal here at home.
I'm just saying, Montreal. I'm onto them. They're a decent team. You know what I mean? They're healthy. They're at home. And Buffalo's lost 10 in a row. How is Buffalo the friggin' favorite here?
I don't know. Montreal's got upside too. Like I've been watching some of their games. The team they have has a lot of upside. I think against these more veteran-laden teams. Washington, they lose to Boston, the Rangers back when they were kind of winning. Winnipeg, Pittsburgh, but they beat up on the teams like this. I would think they should win. The line, it is what it is. If Buffalo wins, if they beat us, they beat us here. But with no Darlene and Montreal completely healthy, also. Laine's been just lighting it up too for this team. Gooley too on the back end there. Lane Hudson. They got a lot of good players. A lot of upside from Montreal. So I'm going to trust them tonight. Plus 110.
Yeah, this is tough. I'm not sure what I want to do here, but in my notes, I'm going to take Buffalo to score in the first in the first period, minus 185. I'll shop around and try to get a better line somewhere else. But Buffalo is very salty here. I don't know if they're going to get a win. And I was also leaning over. You like the under though?
I don't know about the total. I would stay off. Just looking at the record from Lukokonen, he does have a good road record. And Montembeault, he's much better at home. He's 8-7-2, 906. Both goalies have a below 3.0 goals against at home. Home road splits, but they're not playing well in the last 5 games. So I'll stay off the total. I'm actually on a lot more sides today, Pete. I like Montreal.
Okay, yeah, and again, I like taking opposing teams team total unders when they're at Montreal. I like Montembeault at home, just like you said, but I'm going to take Buffalo first period goal. Yeah, okay, all right, I'm going to shop around and see what I can get, but for right now, the best I'm seeing is minus 185. I was leaning over. All right, let me see. Yeah.
And they played November 11th. It was 7-5 for Montreal. That was a day game too. I remember.
Yeah. Buffalo's got to be pissed here. I was thinking Buffalo team total over. All right, let's move on. Next game on the card, Columbus and Tampa Bay, right? Tampa Bay, a huge favorite, of course. Tampa Bay, far better. Columbus lost 7 of 8. Tampa Bay back home off a West Coast trip. They won 3 of 4 on that trip. Tampa Bay much better. They're a bit banged up as well. They still have some guys who are great and aren't banged up, but a few of their guys are banged up. And I'm thinking that Columbus first period and maybe Columbus to score in the first period might be worth a shot as well. Tampa Bay probably comes back to get the win. They're much better, but Columbus, a bad team, but in spots they can get a goal here and there. This might be one of them. What do you think?
Yeah, they're coming off the road trip too. First game after the West Coast road trip for the Lightning, so could be a little bit slow early. I don't mind that. It's also third game in 4 nights though for the Blue Jackets, not all on the road. Like the Sabres. Danforth's questionable. Jack Johnson on defense is questionable as well. Shinnikov's out. I don't mind the first period look. It'd be tough to beat him 60 minutes, I think. We're talking about Vasilevsky, Pete. Home road splits. He's got a 924 at home, 8-4-1. So, Vasilevsky, he's playing pretty good hockey too. Last 5 games, 3-2, 2.45. Merz Lincoln's he's got a lot to be desired for there. I don't think this guy's he's just not a good road goalie, that's for sure. Special teams are heavily in the Lightning favor here, 40%, 82% last 30 days. Jackets are 17, 65%. So I don't mind that first period look, but this is going to be a no play for me here. There's also a question between Hedman, if Hedman's going to play. They called up a player from Syracuse. They're also another defenseman, Moster's out as well. So a little thin on defense, possibly for this game for the Lightning. So, Columbus first period, I don't mind that.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to make 2 plays official. Again, I'll shop around, see if I can get a little bit better. Right now, I'm seeing Columbus first period plus 175 and Columbus first period goal minus 129. I will make both those official and shop around later to see if I can get a little bit better. Let's glance at the comments section and then move on. Everyone, we got to go fast because of these time constraints. Let me see. What are people saying here? What are people? Florida first? Oh, college basketball they're talking about. And of course, Crawford has given us his plays of the day. None of the NHL games, his play of the day is Calgary. We will talk about that in a bit. All right. Let's move on. Next game on the card, LA and Pittsburgh. This one, I think I'm going to pass. LA is a road favorite here. Of course, they've been rolling. They've won 7 of 8. Last year, they were great on the road. And, they're clearly an excellent team right now that you don't want to fade. Pitt can be good, though, and they're getting a pretty healthy home dog line here. Not huge, but decent. I think the line is about on. I would lean over, although LA can be very goal suppressing. Got a lot of 3-1, 4-1 wins. A key injury for both the Kings for Trevor Moore is out, and defenseman for Penguins, Marcus Pettersson might be out. So if you gave me a free play, I'd throw it on Pitt as a home dog. Total, I don't really know. I guess I'm going to pass. What do you think, Kobe?
Yeah, this is a tough game scheduling spot here. 4th game of the road trip for the Kings here. It's on the East Coast as well. Been kind of lower scoring. First game after a small 2-game road trip for the Penguins. 29% power play right now for the Pens, 81% penalty kill. Special teams is humming. Last 30 days, 7-4-2. The Kings, though, 9-3, 16% power play, 83% penalty kill. And then with this Riddick right now, Red Light Riddick, The red light's not going off a lot lately. 3-1, 2.01 goals against, 0.91 free save percentage. But on the road, PD does have an 852, 3.49 save goals against. So this is a game. I'm going to go no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds. I think it's going to be a slower start to this game. Pittsburgh's starting to play better hockey too. Yari's 3-1-1, 3.18 goals against last 5 games. But Kyliev too. This guy's been out for a while. He's on the shout out to the Ontario Reign. He's on the farm team right now. He'll be back very soon. That's going to help their offense, their power play, and then also Lewis is out. Then, like you said, more on left wing. So I think it'll be a lower scoring game here. I'm going no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, plus 115. I'm going to stay off the full game. Just both these goalies are playing well, and the Kings on a 4th game of a road trip on the East Coast. I think it'll be a slow start here in this game. So maybe not one of my best, not one of my favorite plays on the card, but I'm taking the no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds, plus 115 here. We've been hot with these in the last few weeks, so I'm trusting it.
Okay. And again, I was line chopping just so you know I got some better lines. Buffalo to score in the first period, now minus 170. And Columbus first period goal plus 125. And the Columbus first period money line plus 175 again. All right. Huge shout out to Brendan Cummings. Huge shout out to Brendan Cummings.
Okay.
Shout out to Ladybug. Everyone. We got it. We got to keep a brisk pace here, though, because we got to let Gogi go when he needs to go. Yeah, I would love to take it under, but pass. I'll pass for me. All right. Next game, Islanders and Carolina. Islanders, not good, but not bad. They split with Chicago in their last 2. They're off a loss. And Carolina, what's up with them? You see these good teams going to big funks. We saw it with Winnipeg recently. We saw it with Florida to start the year. You see it. Carolina finally got a win in their last game as a huge favorite. If they didn't win that game, then something was seriously wrong. But they're slumping, right? They had lost 5 of 7 before that, or 4 of 6 or something, including a loss at the Islanders. And now Carolina, a big favorite at home once again. At any random time this season, that's probably a justifiable line. But they've definitely been slumping and overvalued for the past 10 days or so. And looking at this, I'm not sure. I got to think that at the current lines, taking the Islanders one way or another is the way to go. What do you think? Did Carolina just figure things out? And now they're going to go on a run of winning?
It's tough. I looked at the goalie situation here. Coach Chekhov wasn't playing the best hockey after coming off his little injury stint there. But he had some rest. The last game they played against, I think it was Ottawa there. They won that game, Columbus 4-1. They had Dustin Tokarski going, which is a AHL goalie, smaller goalie there. They're going to go back to Coach Chekhov here. I think he needed the recipe. I think they rushed him back when they lost to Florida back-to-back games. And then they're like, all right, this Spencer Martin is not working out. They got him back there. He didn't look too good and still allowed, at least 4. Let's see here. His last 5 games, 3.11 goals against, 871. That's not like him. I think the bounce back spot's definitely in play here. But Sorokin, he's not playing that bad. The coach even said there, Patrick Waugh, he's getting no support. They won a game 5-4, should have been 5-2. Just kind of. They're just not as sound of a hockey team as they should be. Coach is trying their best, but second road game of the trip here for the Islanders, 4th home game for the Hurricanes. Injury-wise, no Duclair. Horvat's questionable. Duclair's questionable. Riley's still out. Pretty much healthy for the Hurricanes. You got Drury, Foss, but I think Hurricanes are too deep. They're going to start getting they're going to get it going here, I think, Pete. I'm taking them on a money line parlay with another game coming up here. Carolina on the money line. And I'm doubling down with the no goal in the first 9 minutes, 30 seconds here. I expect Coach Chekhov to play much better. And then Sorokin has been solid. So Islanders, too, are not a very fast-paced hockey team. Bottom 2 lines don't do a whole lot for them. So I would lean to the under as well. Even the Islanders team total under here.
All right. I guess I'll hold off. But I didn't really want to take the Islanders just to win outright at like plus 200 or whatever. So I was thinking about maybe first period, maybe the team total over. Islanders team total over 2.5 at plus money. They can get shut down though, can't they? They don't have.
Yeah, I think Carolina get it going again here. They're coming off those losses. The goaltending situation was, like I said, I think a little rush for Coach Chekhov. Had a rest game. Hasn't played since the 13th. He should have a good bounce back spot. He's 8-2 with a 902 save percentage at home as well. Sorokin's got a 915 save percentage on the road. So both these goalies are decent, but the special teams, my God, 32% power play for the Hurricanes, 87% penalty kill, 63% penalty kill, and a 10% power play for the Islanders. So as 60 minutes goes on, I expect the Hurricanes to get this one done, even if it goes overtime.
All right, man. I don't know. I'm thinking that God,
Got you
Carolina,
thinking.
they get a 4-1 win at home as a -350 fave, and now all of a sudden it's like, all right, their troubles are solved.
The last game there against Columbus, there, yeah, and what were they? They were -350 against Columbus.
They were, and then two games before that, they were -520 against San Jose. So anyone who went all in on them won because they won 3-2. But if you go all in on a -520 fave in the NHL and you got a 3-2 win, I don't know.
And that's what Justin Tokarski in net too against Columbus, like that could have been a loss there. Like that's a good win for Carolina. I know they were favored by a lot, but they could have lost that game there, in my opinion. And then Coach Chekhov's going to have a much better game. If he doesn't have a good game here, then there could be something wrong with his team, but I don't see that happening here. I think the Islanders, they're a pretty poor team here. Win, lose. Bad loss against Chicago there. That's what happened. It was 5-2 against Chicago. Then they allowed 2 late goals, 5-4. Next game they played 3 days later at Chicago, they lost 5-3. So this is just not a very up and down team. I don't trust the Islanders, so give me the Hurricanes.
Yeah, I don't trust them either, but I would love to take a shot with the Islanders first period +153 or something like that. I guess for now I will hold off. Ron Crawford says, no way, Isles on the road. Huge shout out to Ron Crawford hanging out for the entire show so far. Shout out to Ron Crawford. All right, let's get to the next game on the card. New Jersey, St. Louis, right? St. Louis, a pretty big home dog here. And St. Louis, of course, new coach, new program. It's paid some dividends. New Jersey, the Devils off of 2 nice home wins. Now they go on the road. And St. Louis beat the Rangers as a small home dog in their last game. They're solid. They have life to them. They're not really world beaters. But, as a big home dog, I'm always kind of eyeing them. I was thinking St. Louis, money line, first period, and maybe team total over. What do you think?
Well, I'm ready to back the Devils here. I'm gonna until Markstrom starts to show a little signs he's not playing well, Pete. Listen to this. Last 5 games, he's 4-0-1 with a 1.39 goals against, 0.934 save percentage. He's playing good hockey right now. Binnington on the other side, 1-2-2, 3.19 goals against. Special teams is in the Devils' favor here. That's home road splits. That's last 30 days, 29%. Both teams at 76. It's also the first game of a road trip for the Devils, so I think I expect them to not lay an egg here in this first game here, Pete. It's the 3rd game in 4 nights also for the Blues. So scheduling spot is in the favor, in my opinion, for the Devils here. Health-wise, Fosca's questionable. Lazar should be in tonight. Give me the better goalie, and in my opinion, the better hockey team, fast team that I think caused a little bit of problems here for the St. Louis defense as well. Give me the Devils. I think going to start string some wins together. 3-1 against LA, 4-1 against Chicago. They've gone under, and their last 6 games have gone under too. That's a good sign if this team's playing defensively, because offensively there's no issues with the Devils really. So give me the Devils. The line's a little high. That's why it's going to be it's tying in with the Carolina money line. It's going to be Devils money line and Carolina money line +130 tonight. That's the 2-team banger for y'all.
Yeah, and the line has moved so far. We'll see where it closes, but about almost 20 cents in New Jersey's favor. I first saw it in the low +140s. Now it's up to the +160s, low 160s. Wow.
See that? Yeah.
Yeah, and Ron Crawford says Jersey in regulation. I mean, the line has certainly gone in their favor. Okay. A lot of people coming in with their comment. Nate Dogg likes the Blues and Holloway to score. UPK Ayash likes Canadians money line. Okay, the Canes. Devils good on the road. Go ahead. I'm sorry, what'd you say?
I like that. I got another backer on Montreal here tonight. That one really stood out for me. And then this Devils game. Yeah, we're just backing Markstrom, guys. I mean, you got a hot goalie like this, Markstrom. You don't see numbers I haven't seen him play like this in a long time. So, give me the Devils here.
All right, let's move on to another game. Very interesting one. Another very interesting one. Rangers in Nashville. Both these teams slumping, right? Rangers have lost 4 or 5 earlier in the year. Of course, they were great. In Nashville, high expectations this year. They've just pretty much been bad all season long. They did get a nice dog win at Dallas 2 games ago. Great. but mostly losing. And the Rangers, have got to be pretty salty here. Nashville returning from Colorado. And I think, unless there's something fundamental, I know that that Panarin is banged up for the Rangers, but they have more than that. Roman Josi is also banged up for Nashville. A suspiciously low line. I think I saw it as even on both sides. And now, where is that line? Yeah, Nashville's a pretty big favorite here. Wow, like a 20-cent move, and this is a low line. So, the cent moves when the lines are close to even are much more valuable than when they're big favorite lines. Yep. Nashville, the first line I saw was like minus 108, 110. Now it's all the way up to like minus 130. Huge market move in favor of Nashville. I was thinking the Rangers would be the play.
Nope. I'm going with the Nashville. This is a ballsy play, 8-23. But yeah, this team and the Rangers, they're struggling, Pete. It's going to be their third game in 4 nights too. Second road game. Panarin's questionable. Keandre Miller, he's out on defense. Yeah, Yoshi and the boys are out. But something I just read is they're starting to get their lines. They're starting to figure out Marchessault and who's the other guy they just picked up there? But their line mates with Stamkos, Marchessault, and the guy slipped my mind. But they're actually they're saying they're starting to figure out where they are on the ice a little more. They're starting to get a little more familiarity with each other on the ice. So where the Rangers on the other side, I'm looking at their lines, Pete. What the hell is Chris Kreider doing on the fourth line with Sam Carrick? Zibanejad on the third line with VC and Brett Bernard? Who the hell is that? Like, it seems like they're trying everything right now. The Rangers, they're kind of like Buffalo. They're not playing well. Their penalty kill has been decent. Special teams, both these teams aren't doing a whole lot. But the spot, a team that's not playing well in disarray, really, in the Rangers in the third game in 4 nights, second road game, haven't got a lot of wins. And then Predators, first game back after a small 2-game road trip where they did beat the Dallas, like you said there. So I'm going to take the Predators. I got it at minus 118, Pete. It's a ballsy play, but I just expect it's tough in Shesterkin, but beating him. But I think the offense is going to start looking a little bit better in this game. I wouldn't be surprised if even the Predators are up 1-0 after the first period here. It's a ballsy play. It's the worst team in hockey, but really they're not as bad as they look. It's just all the new big players that they've brought in. They just haven't really meshed together. But from what I'm reading, Stamkos, Marchessault, and company, they're starting to kind of figure out where they are on the ice. That's what I heard from Stamkos. So and then the line movement's going in their favor. I'm not going any higher than 180. Like 130 is enough. 125 is enough. I wouldn't lay a whole lot, but that's pretty telling, I think, when like you said.
Yeah. Well, it certainly has been a big move. What do I mean? Where I was on the ice. He's like, where was I? You were in front of the fucking goal. He's like, I didn't know where the fuck I was. All right, look, I'm going to take, it's more ballsy to go against a huge market move like that, but I'm going to take a shot. I think the Rangers are salty. I'm going to take a shot, Rangers, just to score in the first period, minus 156. I'm seeing
Rangers.
Yeah. I'm going to, let me see. First period goal, minus 150. There we go. Rangers to score in the first period, minus 150. Obviously, Nashville is much better than what they've been. It'd be hard to not be. And at some point, they're probably going to put it together and have a run of wins and being undervalued. But I'm just going to take a shot with the Rangers first period right now. Let's see what people are saying in the comments section. Action Jackson, Nashville slight fades, not too juiced. I'd play it.
Yeah,
Brendan Cummings, Nashville 2-0 first period at home against the Rangers. Yeah.
Love that.
Nashville coming back and the Rangers, they got to be salty. At the very least, I think they'll put up a goal in the first period. So we'll see what goes on. Ron Crawford says Rangers selling off everyone. Take the Preds. So Ron Crawford loves the Preds.
Yeah, they're in they got some problems right now, the Rangers, that's for sure. And even Zibanejad, I've been hearing stuff about Zibanejad. He could be traded maybe at the deadline.
So it's internal strife then.
Yes.
Ugh. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the Predators seem like they're kind of getting they're in last, but they're starting to get the wheels moving a little bit.
No, I hear you. All right. Yeah. I might wind up betting Nashville, but for as far as an official pick is concerned, I'll take the Rangers first period goal. All right. Next game on the card, tough one. Washington at Chicago. Washington's on a back-to-back. They lost to Dallas yesterday. Of course, they were awesome before that. Chicago mostly losing, but off a nice win as a big home dog, and they've got an interim coach. That's a team I don't want it with an interim coach and Connor Bedard and everything. Not a team I want to fade in general as a huge home dog, which they are here. It's going to be a pass for me for now. Lean over.
I got back-to-back for Capitals. Lost last night at Dallas 3-1. This is a much easier team defensively to play. Apparently, it was a tough game for them. Power play, both these teams are humming, Pete, last 30 days. Third game in 4 nights for both these teams. I think we're going to see some goals here. Soderblom's going. He's 1-3. He's definitely beatable. Now, he's been solid. 5-0. He's 5-0 on the road, 923 save percentage, but I think the Blackhawks are starting to get it going here. They also called up a centerman here. I was just looking at Lazar or Nazar here for Chicago. He was lighting it up with Rockford. He's kind of brought a little bit of life to this Chicago team offensively. So I think we're going to see this is both teams to score in the first period here. Capitals, Blackhawks plus 175. Biggest bet of the biggest odds on the card here today. I think both these teams. I could even see both teams to score 3 goals. The over in play as well in this game. The offense is, like I said, the power play. This is the big thing. 29% power play for Chicago. They actually got a 92% penalty kill too in the last 30 days. So they're playing much better hockey. Called up some young talent, like I said, in that Nazar guy. So through centering the second line with Bertuzzi and Hall. So I think this is going to be a fast-paced game. Tough for the goalies. First period, both teams to score.
And yet it's a very low total. It's 6 juice to the under or 5.5 at some places. Only slightly juice to the over.
Yeah, they're thinking the back-to-back. I just think it's going to be much easier for the Washington. They still got a lot of good young players. I don't think they're going to be that tired here. They're going up against Chicago defensively than it is Dallas and Ottinger and company. So you got Soderblom and a defense core that's missing. They're still missing Zet Jones and Martinez is day-to-day as well. So defensively, they're hurting too, Chicago. So I think there'll be some goals here tonight.
All right. I'll take the Chicago team total over 2.5 minus 102. I'm seeing right now 2.5 minus 102. I'll take that. I'm definitely leaning over as well in both teams. Spooks me a little bit that the line is so low. Let's glance the comment section and then move on. Let's see. Brendan Cummings, the Blackhawks have had at least 1 goal scored against their last 5 home games in the second period. Yeah. No, I'm liking any kind of over in this one. Wow.
Yeah, good point,
Ron Crawford says Thompson in net, Washington big with 5 capital letter G's.
5
What's
capital.
your take on that?
No pun intended. I just think with them right now, quickly go to their how many goals they've scored in the last few games, but they're starting to score 5, 1, 4, 2, 2, 2. I just think with this young kid they've called up here, he's centering the second line. Yeah, there's going to be some. He's going to screw up, that's for sure, but he's definitely got offensive upside for this team. And also third game in 4 nights. Either it's going to be like a 2-1 game or 1-0, like a really low scoring game, or I think it's going to be like a 4-3, 5-3 kind of game.
All right.
4-2.
I'm going to pull my Chicago team total over then for sure. Just because of the goalie, Ron Crawford saying Washington big. Wow. That's a comment and a half.
Yeah, but the only thing is that they back to back, and it was a big game. Like that was a tough game for them. So I think they're gonna. It's third game in 4 nights. Like Chicago's, Thompson's gonna have to be good tonight. It's not gonna be easy. It's not gonna be easy for him. I think tonight.
All right. Well, the line has also moved about 20 cents in Washington's favor. So I'm going to hold off. We got 3 more games to go and 3 more minutes. Let's try to do a game in a minute. Boston, Calgary. Calgary is the Ron Crawford NHL spreadsheet play of the day. Boston, 4th game of their trip. They're off a nice win after 2 bad losses to start. They won 4 in a row, of course. Before the trip, they have their new coach, which is changing them up a bit. Calgary off a shutout win against Florida as a big home dog. Before that, they had gotten blown out at home by Tampa Bay. And Calgary, in general, has been excellent at home this year, much less, kind of crappy on the road, but they've been great at home. Ron Crawford likes them as a home dog here against Boston. What do you think?
I'm going to stay off this game, short and sweet here. 4th game of the road trip for Boston. 3rd game at home for the Flames. They have been playing better, but Kuzmenko day-to-day. Who's going to be in net? Darth Vader or Dan Vladar, as they call him? Or Dustin Wolf. Both these goalies have been a little bit iffy of late there, Pete. Let's see here. At home, Vladar's been 3-1, 885 save percentage. Last 5 games, Vladar's got a 4.17 goals against. So these goaltenders I don't really trust. Flames have a better power play. Penalty kill's weaker, though. I couldn't really find anything on this game. Lean Boston. That's kind of all I got here.
All right. Well, these are the kinds of games where it's a game where I'm like not exactly sure what I think. And then Ron Crawford comes in with the play of the day. that tells me that that's probably or almost very likely the right side. Calgary a home dog. Let me see, just glance at where the line is. Yeah, not much movement. All right, let's move on. Ottawa and Seattle. Ottawa won 5 of 6, right? 4 of them as a home favorite, though. Now they go on the road. Seattle, a solid team, off of a 5-1 beatdown at home to Tampa Bay, but they're playing well before that. And Ullmark is playing great for Ottawa. I don't know if that'll necessarily translate on the road, but I was thinking if Forsberg's in, I'd be leaning Seattle and over and Seattle team total over. If Ullmark's in, not exactly sure.
Yeah, I'm expecting Ullmark, Pete. Ride the hot hand here. 5-0 last 5 games. He's got a .99 goals against, a .966 save percentage. That's unbelievable. Best goalie in the league right now. Going up against, looks like Joey Decord, who used to play for this team. I watched this guy. He played with Norris. He played with Batherson. Gustafson's on here. But those 2 players, Pete, Norris and Batherson, they played a lot with Decord 2019, 2020 in the AHL. His numbers right now, he's okay, but where I'm going in this game is I'm looking at Norris here, guys. Norris has been playing much better. Let me just bring up his no, I don't want Sean Norris. I want Josh Norris here. Josh Norris, though, guys, he has been playing a lot better. Like I said, he does know this this goalie as well. I'm taking his shots over 2.5. It's plus 145. I can just double check that. I had that just before the show. See where it's at now. But Josh Norris, guys, look for him to play well. Drake Batherson, I didn't mind. But the line's juiced a little more than I like. Josh Norris, yeah, still over 2.5 plus 145. The line's 5.5 too. I'm a little surprised by how low the line is. I think we're going to see some tough to say with Ullmark and net, but I expect Senators also. Yeah, Forsberg is going to be out. Perron's out. Zub's out. Gord's questionable for the Kraken, but right. Let's trust the Senators here. I'm definitely trusting Norris here. They're gonna feed him the puck. I was looking at Stützle. He has been getting a lot of shots on net. They've really been looking at Norris. And like I said, he played against this goalie, both him and Batherson, a couple of years ago. So look for Norris to get on the scoreboard as well, get a point at plus 105 along with the shots on goal.
All right. Well, the line is clearly moved about 15 cents in Ottawa's favor. Ron Crawford likes Ottawa, and Skunt Blaster comes in with the skunt bag play of the day on the Senators. Wow. Okay. I'm sorry?
That's a skunt bag play of the day. I love it.
Yeah, skunt bag play of the day. I don't know what's in a skunt bag, but all right. Let's see. And Ron Crawford says Calgary #1 ROI at home. Yeah, because they're not a great team, but they've been great at home. They're kind of the anti-Vancouver. All right, let's move on to the last game on the card, Winnipeg and San Jose. Winnipeg rounding back to form a bit. They've won 4 out of the last 6 after a bad run. San Jose continues to be undervalued. You know, they're not necessarily winning, but they're losing relatively close games as a huge dog. Only 1 game did they get blown out. And now here they are again, a huge home dog against Winnipeg. It's justifiable, of course. Winnipeg is one of the elite teams in the NHL. But, you know, San Jose is playing tight. And I was thinking, I don't know, I was thinking maybe an over here. San Jose, you know, they give up a lot of goals. They allow a lot of goals on the road. I'm thinking maybe Winnipeg will give up 1 or 2, relatively low total. And I was leaning over 6 at plus money.
Yeah, this is it's the Jets also have a back-to-back tomorrow, Pete, at Anaheim. First of the road trip here at West. Second straight home game for the Sharks. They only got, you know, Logan Couture has been out for 2 years, it seems like. And then Vlasic, Dill Pickles there. He's out, the defenseman for the Sharks. Ehlers is questionable, it looks like, for the Jets. Sandberg's been out for a while still. It's going to be a no play here. I don't mind the over. It's just I don't know what we're going to get from Georgiev yet. He's only had a couple games with this team. Looks like he's allowed, you know, 3 goals, 4 goals, 3.464 goals against, goals against his last 5 games. Hellebuck's been solid, guy, starting to play much better, 1.95 goals against. So it's going to be a no play. I had Winnipeg money line in the over 5.5. I was going to do a same game parlay on that one, guys. I don't mind that, but it's going to be a no play. This Sharks team, you don't know what you're going to get. They can win games against the best or get crushed. You know, they played this team, Pete, quickly back on October 18th. That was a while ago, but they lost 8-3 at Winnipeg. So the over feels like the play, but it's going to be a no play for me.
Ron Crawford, Sharks plus 1.5 and 2. Oh, wait. Yeah, I think he's saying +1.5 and +2 on his spreadsheet. They've definitely been hanging, and I like Action Jackson likes a Jets puck line. Brandon Cummings talking about how much Winnipeg scores. I feel like on the road, at home they had clamped down and Hellebuck and everything. On the road, they win a little bit more loosely. All right, I think I'm going to take a shot with the over. That's justifiable, right?
It does make sense. They open it up a little more on the road, just like you said, and this team's definitely fast, healthy. Gorgiev's definitely susceptible. So yeah,
yes. Okay, you got to run. It's 11:39 a.m., Mr. Gokster.
That's all right, guys. It's a treat as always, Pete, capping these games. I'm tweeting out my action in about an hour there on Twitter, Gokster99, guys. So that's where you can recap all the plays. Till then, I'll be on with Jose tomorrow with, I think there's 5 games. So we'll look forward to those and some AHL hockey. We'll have some AHL action as well, Pistol.
Very, very nice. Great to talk to you once again, Mr. Gokster. And I will take the over in this Winnipeg San Jose game. I'm seeing at one site, a big site, over 5.5 minus 123. Over 5.5 minus 123. So I'll take that instead of like 6 at +105. And let's glance at the comments section. Ron Crawford posting college basketball plays. I'm going to copy and paste this. I haven't had a chance to do my second round of analysis. I did look at all the first the scenarios yesterday, but this morning didn't have a chance to refine my takes. I haven't actually bet anything on college basketball yet, so I missed a bunch of openers probably, but have a bunch of leans things I'm looking at. Brendan Cummings likes the over. I was as well. I took that. And all right. So once again, my official NHL plays, we'll see. Buffalo to score in the first period, -170. Columbus first period money line +175, and Columbus first period goal -125. Rangers, a lot of people are down on the Rangers, but I took them to score in the first period -150 with Nashville coming back from Colorado, and the Winnipeg San Jose game over 5.5 -123. And once again, let's see, Buffalo salty, but a lot of people like in Montreal as a home dog. I can understand that. Let's see, the Rangers game, a lot of people, the Lions moved in Nashville's favor. Ron Crawford talking about how the Rangers are just selling off and turmoil in the on the roster. So maybe a play on Nashville, despite how bad they have been, is worth a shot. St. Louis often has value as a big home dog. Line has moved in New Jersey's favor. Ron Crawford likes New Jersey in regulation. Chicago also big move in favor of Washington, despite being on a back-to-back on the road against Chicago. Calgary, again, the Ron Crawford spreadsheet play of the day. A lot of people like in Ottawa with Olmark going against Seattle. And that's it for NHL. Jose Bouquett, what's going on, baby?
Not much. How are you, Pete?
I'm all right. I'm okay. Not bad.
You excited for Pubapalooza 4, Pete?
Sorry?
You excited for Pubapalooza 4?
Yes. I gotta plan out my strategy. Is there going to be another poker tournament?
Yeah, poker tournament Friday night, March 20th.
Very, very nice. You know what I'm going to do? I've been searching. I found a bunch of poker cheating, things that you can wear on your wrist and stuff like that. Accessories. I'm going to get some poker cheating accessories and see if that might help me out a little bit when I go down.
Well, I'd like to see that, Pete. Yeah. I've already guaranteed it, Pete, and I'll guarantee it to your face as well. I guarantee you, Pete, I win the PSR poker tournament because I am an excellent tournament poker player.
Okay, if I've got my poker cheating watch on, if you win, it's because I let you win, Jose Bouquett.
That's fair. I can't
not saying you're not a great poker player, because you very well may be. And you did bluff me once last year, which was I wasn't paying attention that closely. But I don't care who you are. If I've got a watch on my hand that's sending me the signals where I can see what your cards are, you ain't winning, pal.
I want to see that technology in action, Pete. I'm
going to get all of it. I'm going to have a fucking app on my phone, headphones, a watch.
You're going to be able to count cards and then it'll tell you.
Things. 5 different things.
Troy Torrance gets kicked out of casinos left and right because of his blackjack action, I believe. So
who did?
Troy. He gets booted because he's a advanced player or whatever in the blackjack tables.
No shit, he was counting. Yeah, no, you can't do it like you used to be able to, but you still can. There's actually a guy on Twitter who posts about. He goes all over the world playing at various casinos. A lot harder now than it used to be, but it's still definitely possible. And wow, shout out to Troy Torrance. You said did that?
Yeah.
I'm gonna hang out with that dude. I'm gonna hang out with that dude at Pubapalooza. I'll tell you what, man.
Yeah, great guy.
Man.
Shout out to Troy. And by the way, we do only have one NBA game here today. That's kind of why we're chit-chatting here. But let's bring on our guest. He's been sitting back there for a little bit. Let's bring him on. Getting Bills, Billy Brisbane, another Pubapalooza vet. Hopefully we get to see you this year. Billy, how are you?
Doing good, man. I'm ready to go for today. Nice little card today. A nice little card to make some money and to, get back some days for Christmas, I would say.
Okay. You think this is a game where you could make some money? Well, I will tell whatever you think because I'm looking at this. Of course, only one game on the card tonight. It's the final in the NBA Cup, Milwaukee and OKC. Milwaukee won and covered against Atlanta in their last game. They've been not great ATS before that, but, everyone's playing great. Lillard's playing great. Milwaukee's not a team I want to fade right now, especially not as a dog. And on the other side, you got OKC rolling. They've been covering a bunch of games in a row. They rolled Houston in the last game, but they're giving 5 points to Milwaukee. Very low total. The total I saw was 214. I don't know, man. As always, no, not always. As is often the case, I'm very confused about these lines. But before I hear what you have to say and read what the comment section has to say, if you gave me a free bet on it, I'd chuck it on the under 214.
Let's look at the market for this game. I didn't even really look at the market for this game too much. Total opened up at 213.5, 2 points up right now, 215.5. I expect that to keep on going up. 88% of the cash is on the over. I would think the general public probably thinks that's a very low total. And then looking at the spread, 54% of the bets on OKC, 46% of the bets on Milwaukee. Money line wise, to be honest with you, it's not really that big of a market where like the public versus sharps. I don't think it really matters who wins. Like, I don't think the bookies are liability on either side. And there's not really a long futures market, so they probably really don't care who wins, like Vegas wise.
Yeah, well, we got Justin. We got Khan's Clips like in Milwaukee plus 5.5 yesterday, and Ron Crawford like in OKC. So now I really don't know what.
Yeah, but I feel like the Thunder have kept float with SGA playing at this level. He's looked really good without Chet in the lineup right now. They've gone 17-2 straight up without him in the lineup. A lot of it's been SGA leading the way with 30.3 points per game, 6.3 assists per game. Jalen Williams has kind of been really the running mate, 21.7 points per game, 5.0 assists per game. And then Hartenstein, we talked about Hartenstein last week being the X factor with him coming back. The Bucks have been top heavy as well with Giannis and Lillard really handling the workload from night to night, 25 plus a night. Taurean Prince has been very efficient from the three-point line. I think he's like top 3 in the NBA right now for three-point percentage. Historically, though, these Vegas Cup games have gone under. All 5 NBA Cup games have gone under during its existence throughout the NBA Cup. The Bucks have gone under in 14 out of their last 25 games, and out of OKC's 4 games versus Eastern Conference opponents this year, they've gone 3-1 towards the under. Total-wise, I lean towards the under, but player prop wise, I gotta look at these player props just because, night to night, we always complain about the randomness of the NBA and the results. But I think the minutes, regardless of the result of this game, are going to be high for both starting lineups. My favorite play in this game, we're going to start it off with OKC's SGA NBA Emirates Cup MVP winner here at minus 180. While the Bucks have been playing their best basketball of the year, going 10-2 straight up since Thanksgiving week, there's definitely holes to pick at in their game, particularly in this matchup in their pick and roll defense. The Bucks are the second worst team in the NBA defending pick and rolls. SGA sits 9th in the NBA right now, best scorer, 9th best scorer in the NBA right now in pick and roll sets. And if he's able to get rolling, I feel like the Thunder are going to win this game. The Thunder allow the 5th fewest 3-pointers per game. This total is pretty low, and I feel like that's more of a Thunder game script than a Milwaukee game script. And this is an advantageous matchup for SGA. The Bucks allow the most points to the point guard position, the second most points in the paint to point guard position, and the 7th highest 3-point percentage to the point guard position. And SGA scored 30 plus points in 11 out of his last 15 games played. So I feel like if the Thunder win the cup, it's going to be in the hands of SGA tonight. While I do expect the supporting cast to contribute, the MVP race really comes down to which team do you think is going to win. Like if it's on the OKC side, it's probably going to be SGA at -180. And if you like Milwaukee, I would bet Giannis at +225. I mean, that's damn near higher than the money line. I feel like both of them have value. But looking at the odds of the Thunder money line at -200, I think it's worth the 20-cent risk to just not include a side and just go for the MVP final. So that's what I went with for my first play here. The second play I went with was a player prop double-double parlay here. A little bit chalky, but it's there on the table. It's one game. You got to get in where you fit in. So I played Giannis and Hartenstein both to record a triple-double here at +145. I feel like both of these starting lineups are just going to play as many minutes as possible. This is similar to like a playoff final game, especially in winner-go-home scenario. And looking at OKC ranks 29th in rebounds overall. Giannis in his last meeting, late spring last year versus OKC, he finished with 19 rebounds on 27 rebound chances. Head-to-head wise, he's gone over his rebound prop in 5 out of 6 last 6 meetings versus OKC, finishing with 13, 17, 19, 7, and 19 rebounds. OKC's 50 rebounds that they're allowing per game this season is almost tied with the Wizards for the worst in the league in hindsight. So this is a really good matchup for Giannis rebounding prop. Hartenstein, I feel like he's the X factor for all this to work for OKC tonight. Outside of SGA, I feel like Hartenstein's contributions in the lineup are going to be very significant. He's had a double-double in 7 out of his 10 games played since coming back from injury. 10-plus rebounds in 8 out of 10 games played, 10-plus points in 8 out of 10 games played. He didn't get a double-double in that semifinal matchup over the weekend versus the Rockets, but he did match his highest offensive output of the season since his debut. For the season, Milwaukee's ranked at 22nd most rebounds per game allowed. So I think Giannis and Hartenstein both get a double-double at +145. If you win the bet, Hartenstein singly at like -110, -115, I wouldn't mind that at all. And then my same game parlay here was Giannis 10 rebounds, Giannis 25-plus points, and SGA 25-plus points. And that was -125 as a quick little same game parlay. Some player prop notes for this game. If you're running out like some underdog fantasy, maybe prize picks or etc. Gary Trent's gone over his 3-point prop, over 1.5 3-pointers in 5 out of his last 6 games played. They're probably going to have to put him on out there because I don't think AJ Green's going to be able to play enough defense out there. Granted, his defensive numbers have looked a lot better in the last month, but still, I don't think Gary Trent's going to have to play some more minutes than usual tonight. Bobby Portis has gone over his PRA prop in 5 out of his last 6 games played, averaging 25.2 PRA. His PRA props around 20.5 market wide. And then Giannis has scored 30-plus points in 3 straight games, 4 out of his last 5 games, and 8 out of his last 10 games played. So I feel like while I think this game goes under, I think a lot of these player props go over.
Yeah, and I will say that, the line I saw, I think it was last night, the total was 214. It's now up to 216, which is, I guess, a little bit surprising. Kong's Clips, like in just the first quarter under, and Ron Crawford predicting a score that goes over 115-107 OKC. Wow. And Montclair Disciples MC likes the Bucks money line and Giannis double-double. Man, I think you guys might be right. I think I might take some lesser players, player props under. And you're probably right that the double-double parlay is a nice shot there. As far as the spread and total, man, I don't know. Tori Coker, like in Milwaukee, first half money line.
How do you feel about the angle? I kind of feel like this screams like a basketball game where you think OKC's the side. They end up winning the game in the Emirates Cup, but they don't cover the fucking 5. Like the game falls on like 4, 4.5, like right on the number. Like, so I feel like how'd you feel about the angle with the Emirates Cup MVP race? Because I feel like whatever side you like, either MVP is better odds. Like Giannis is +225 to win the fucking cup. The Milwaukee money line's +180. If Milwaukee's winning this fucking game tonight, it's gonna be Giannis winning the fucking MVP.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, unless Lillard goes off for 50, I don't know.
Even then, I don't think Lillard's put up enough points throughout the cup. It's not like it's just based off of one game. It's all your stats throughout all the cup games, the playoff games, and the championship game. Lillard didn't do enough.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's definitely true that that when you're analyzing these kinds of markets in general, a lot of times those kinds of props can have more value than the actual bets that you're looking at. So yeah, I mean, yeah, Giannis to MVP, but then they got to actually win the game.
They got to
Ron Crawford likes OKC
That's the
by
reason
8.
why I ended up landing on SGA MVP, because I think OKC wins the game. It's just I'm not really too giddied up to lay -4.5, -200 on a fucking championship.
Sure. Woo Rizza likes Middleton over 8.5, ladder to 12.
Middleton's on a limit still, and to subsequent his minutes limit, they have to make him come off the bench so he can close, and that's fucking up his like momentum, I would say, of like you don't really know when you're coming off the bench. You don't really know when you're subbing in unless you're like already a bench player. Like if you started your whole entire life, you're coming back from your worst leg injury ever, and Doc says, yeah, you could be in the closing lineup, but you got to come off the bench. You're just sitting there on ice with fucking ice packs on your knees until like the 4th minute mark in the first quarter, and they're like, sub in. And he's just out here clanking shot after shot. I played him in a daily fantasy lineup last week, and I was highly disappointed in Chris Middleton's performance. It's good real life wise that he's the backup point guard for the second unit, but for player props, I can't get behind Middleton right now. I kind of like Flips play of AJ Green, 2 threes, 3 threes plus money. I mean, one of him or Gary Trent are going to have to score tonight.
All right. Action Jackson saying you can see my laptop through my shades. That's not good. Wouldn't be a good spy. I'll put him back there. All right. Well, I'm not going to make any official plays. I'm just listening to what you guys are saying. But I'm thinking that I might bet some of the lesser player props unders. It might tail you on that double parlay. And man, if I had to take a bet right now, I don't even know what I was. There's so many people we respect on opposite sides of both the side and total in this one.
I think the best move would be to wait 20 minutes before the game and bet the fucking under. How is there 90% of the money on the over in this game with every Vegas NBA Emirates Cup game has significantly gone under the total? Looking at both of these teams, how many rebound props did we just talk about of OKC damn near right next to the Wizards for most allowed rebounds in the league? Milwaukee's bottom 10 in the league. You know what that sounds like, Pete? A whole lot of fucking clank jump shots that they're not used to. And being in Vegas over the weekend, are you human or are you not human? I can't imagine having a game on a Saturday. You're going to a championship game on a fucking Tuesday. Vegas Raiders don't play until Monday night. Vegas Sunday was probably a shit show. You know damn well those players definitely were diddy bopping in the club. I mean, anytime you see Damian Lillard on social media, you see all the fucking popular black female artists saying, oh my God, Damian Lillard, like Sexy Red and Glorilla and shit like that. So you know they've been diddy bopping in the club. If you're young on these teams and you know you're not playing, like if you're Giannis's brother, oh my God, Pete, can you imagine?
You think both teams had a freak off on Sunday?
Can you imagine how hammered you would, Pete? You pulled up to Vegas on a Thursday. Everybody's locked in. You guys went on Saturday. They tell you Sunday you guys got day off, practice on Monday. God damn, you're getting fucking hammered.
Yeah, but I'm a degenerate scumbag. These are professional athletes.
You don't think these professional athletes are just fucking scumbags?
Good point. Good point.
If you were a 6'10" basketball player, dude, you know how much you could walk into a room and pick what girl you could fuck. I can't imagine. That is like,
man, isn't that the dream? All right.
You got to bet the under. What I'm getting back towards is I feel like the best bet in this game has got to be the under. But if you're just looking at it from like a sides total perspective.
Well, Ron Crawford like an SGA points, rebounds over, and someone else. Where was it? Oh, I can't find it. Someone else said he likes the Giannis points and row. Justin McElvey Giannis points over 42.5 points and rebounds, minus 110 in my pocket. Yeah, no, I think you're right. It's going to be a showcase for him. Probably a lot of rebounds. Montclair Disciples MC liking Milwaukee money line at over 215.5. All right. A lot of things we got to think about here.
Yeah, I would say if you're in the chat, try to look into the player props. Like, I feel like
right, and then Montclair Disciples MC says you'll get live opportunities for both teams. Bucks are not going to let OKC run through them. Absolutely, in a game like this, halftime and or live bets can be the best way to go. Of course, if you're not seeing something that you like pre-game, a lot of times that means live or halftime.
That's always the angle for these like single game matinee spots. Whoever wins the first half, just blindly fade them. You know, the bookies don't want to really pay out the double result on the game. So, like, whoever wins the first half, bet the other team second half. I've seen a lot of people do that live in cash.
All right. Awesome breakdown, Billy Brisbane. Thanks so much. Now, what do we do? Hey, Jose Bouquett, are we doing college basketball now? We're doing the bowl games. Is Brizzy sticking around for the bowl stuff? Jose Bouquett, where are you, pal? I didn't.
Bowl games next.
Bowl games next. All right, Brizzy. Thanks so much. We'll talk to you again next Tuesday.
See you, Pete. See you, chat. Make sure you guys hit the like and subscribe button. Because, you know, when you don't ever want to say you hit a milestone in the biz, because whenever you hit a milestone in the biz, there's always haters out there in the world that are going to unsubscribe to say, oh, well, they're not at 30K anymore. And that's exactly what happened overnight last night.
They would do that?
We're not at 30K, and now you got to get back to 30K. So always remember in the biz, people don't want to see your success, so you celebrate in silence.
We'll buy some subscribers. We'll make up whatever we get cheated out of. All right, Brizzy, thanks so much. All right, now we got 10 bowl games we're going to cover, 10 college football games we're going to cover right now with Dabby Cab. Bunch of bowl games, bunch of college football playoffs games going up. There's a few things that I think I'm really liking here. The playoff games are a little bit tougher. You know, obviously two great teams going against each other with a big spread for the home team. Shout out to Dan Kelly. Huge chat. Hey, ignore the haters. Recognition is their oxygen. Yeah, that's true. I hate the haters. All right, Dabby. Let's not waste any time. We got 10 games that we're going to cover here in college football. First one is the game that goes tonight. It's the match that goes tonight, the West Virginia game against Memphis. This is an interesting one, right? Because at first glance, it would look like Memphis has all the motivation here, right? They've got a senior quarterback who's great, Seth Hennigan. You know, they never got to win a conference championship. So, you know, they're very motivated for this one. They were a favorite. They opened up as a favorite, and now I believe they're a bigger favorite, up to about 4.5 or 5. Memphis closed the regular season with 2 huge margin ATS wins, right? And then you got West Virginia, decent ATS most of the year, but then they got blown the F out in their last game against Texas Tech. And then their coach was fired, Neil Brown, right? And now they got Rich Rod coming in for his second, run with these guys next year. So adding all that together, you think, of course, Memphis will be the play here. And maybe they are, but West Virginia, has, a good roster that should be able to hang with Memphis. And if they're fully motivated, I wouldn't want to fade them getting this many points. And from everything that I've been reading, it seems like they are. So, obviously, because of Hennigan and because of West Virginia's coach being fired, maybe Memphis is just a no-brainer play. But I haven't bet it, and I'm not convinced of that. What do you think, Dabby Cap?
First thing I'll say is, forgive me if my voice, I feel like shit. Everybody knows that I've not been feeling good. So sorry if I sound like shit. But you guys in the chat, man, and Pete, I'm going to talk like I'm talking to people who haven't been gambling for a long time for just a second, even though I know you guys have been gambling. Hell, most of y'all have been gambling longer than me. We got people like Dan Kelly, Stacks in the chat. You guys know this. But I would feel like shit if I didn't say this. Bowl season in college football, be careful, all right? Yeah. I just feel like it's got to be said. It's a minefield. It's an absolute minefield. Now with the transfer portal, it's 1,000 times worse than it's ever been. And I'm trying to find it right here. I think West Virginia has 12 players. I just lost it. I had it in front of me 2 seconds ago. I think West Virginia has 12 players that won't be 12 starters that won't be playing in this football game. which that for me right there is enough. I don't have to count past that, Pete. If they've got 12 players, the starters that are not playing in this football game, you take Memphis or you pass. And another thing here on this for Memphis is, they've only got 2 losses this season, and they had the easiest schedule. Memphis had high hopes this year because of how easy their schedule was. That being said, this is a way to end with a Big 12 win, right? You beat a Big 12 team in a bowl game. You're ranked at the end of the season. It gives you momentum going into the next season. There's something to play for. Whereas West Virginia, their coach is heading out. You touched on that, right? Their players are heading out. They sucked. They went 6-6. They're not a good team, not even in the Big 12, which is having a down year or down years. I just think this is Memphis or pass. I took a small bet on Memphis first half. I guess you guys can make it official if y'all want. But I'm going to say this. I don't bet the same amount of money on most of these bowl games that I do on everything else. This is because I'm a degenerate and I want to watch a football game with a bet on it tonight.
Yeah, no, I was reading about West Virginia and the interim coach was saying that most of the guys were in bowl practices, including that left tackle who's going to be an NBA player, probably a first rounder. So I was thinking maybe it'd be a little bit of a trap to take Memphis, but yeah, you might be right. I didn't realize they had 12 guys out for the portal.
I wish I could find it again. I had it written down in my notes and I'd lost it. So let me, while you look at this, let me find it one more time and double check and make sure.
Sure. Right. Well, the line has moved up to 6 now. So the first line I saw was 3. Yeah, it's been creeping up 4.5. Now it's up to 6. The total, which I was leaning to the over as well, is also up to 60.5 now. It was 56.5. And maybe the Memphis team total over is great because, again, Memphis does have this is the last game for their quarterback, Hennigan, who's been there forever. And
okay, hey, pump. See, I know. I see. I told you I've been sick. Pump the brakes on that. It's the Western Kentucky who's got 12 people out. We're about to talk about that. I'm sorry, guys. See, that's why usually my head's on a lot clearer than it is today. I still stand by the fact that I like Memphis in this game just for everything else that I said.
Yeah, I was looking at it, and from everything I saw, it looked like they weren't missing too many guys. And again,
that's Western Kentucky. My bad.
The tackle, but again, he'll play, but how much will he play? He's not going to risk. They're not going to want to risk his, an injury just for this stupid game, I guess. Although they are, supposedly pissed off about the blowout loss, Texas Tech. I think that the best way to go here might just be the Memphis team total over, which now is going to be pretty high. But this might just be an offensive showcase for these guys. Wow. Okay.
West Virginia's passing defense is terrible, Pete.
I'm sorry.
West Virginia's passing defense is terrible, and you kind of touched on Memphis's senior quarterback. I mean, I think Memphis is going to be able to throw the ball all over the field. I mean, I think they're going to put up a lot of yards through the air. West Virginia, they're going to want to run the ball, and Memphis, one thing they can do on defense is stop the run. Memphis, man, I just like the spot.
Okay, I'm going to make the Memphis team total over an official play, even though it has gotten bet up significantly at this one offshore place. It's 29.5 minus 205. There you go. I'm looking at a different place now. 32.5 minus 125. I will shop around after the show and see the best line I can get at the reputable places. But it's going to be about 32.5 minus 125. Memphis team total over.
That's
you're probably right.
Andrew G. You see that comment? You see that comment in the chat from Andrew G. He said Hennigan is 2 TDs shy of the record, the ACC record set by Clayton Tune, the Houston quarterback. There's an angle right there. He's definitely going to try and hit that.
Yeah, I mean it's a big game for them. Big game for Memphis because of him. So West Virginia, they're how much everyone's going to play is the big wild card, but probably the safest bet, I think, will be the Memphis team total over. So that's an official play for me. Memphis team total over roughly 32.5 minus 125 or so. All right, let's move on. You ready, Dabby Cap?
Ready to go.
Next game on the card, the Boca Raton Bowl in Florida, Western Kentucky and JMU. Western Kentucky, of course, got blown out in their conference championship game against Jacksonville State. That was an official pick of mine, Jacksonville State, on this show. JMU ended the year kind of crappy, 2 straight-up losses as a favorite, and they are looking for their first ever bowl win as a program. They were in a bowl last year, and they lost. And Western Kentucky, they have a bunch of guys in the transfer portal. but their quarterback, Veltkamp, entered the portal, but he's going to play from everything that I read. So the big guy for Western Kentucky is going to be in, but you're right. A bunch of other guys are going to be out. And then James Madison, their quarterback, was banged up in their last game, and they've got a redshirt junior who's going to be starting this bowl game. So that's a questionable thing for James Madison as well as a big favorite. And Western Kentucky's quarterback was I think he was named Offensive Player of the Year in the Conference USA, and he's going to be playing here. I assume he's going to be playing the whole game. I assume he's going to be playing with full motivation. So in light of that, giving them, all these points, and in light of, how JMU ended the regular season, and they're having quarterback issues of their own, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe Western Kentucky and the under are my leans.
I hate balls sometimes because I get it, Pete. I get it. I do. I hear what you're saying. But so this is the one. I know I said it, and I'm sorry for everybody. I fucked it up. This is the one.
Go for it, baby.
Yeah, Western Kentucky's got 12 people out here, and it's like you just look at what they've done. How many points they've scored in their last few games, 7, 19, 12, 21. I mean, they have been struggling. They're averaging 25.1 points per game on the season, and that's dropped drastically in the last few games of the season. And yet, you're right though. JMU is going to have their backup quarterback in. Now, this isn't a transfer thing or anything like that. I think you touched on it.
It's an injury.
Yeah, he got hurt against Marshall last week. And this is a guy, if you watch the coach, he talked about it. He's excited for him to get his shot here at QB. He said he's got plenty of reps as a backup. He's been preparing for it all season. So he's a well-established backup quarterback. So no, I don't think he's going to be as good as the starter, or he would be the starter, but I think he's going to run the offense efficiently for JMU. And I think JMU covers this point spread here. I have not bet this one though, Pete. So I'll root for you if you do.
Yeah, my leans are Western Kentucky and the under, and it has dropped. It was 7.5 when I liked that. Didn't bet it. It's down to 7, and the total was 54.5. Now it's down to 51. So a big drop to the under. But again, you're right. It's Western Kentucky does have their quarterback in, and again, not sure if he'll play the whole game necessarily. And JMU has a quarterback who could be okay, a relatively low total. So I'm not going to take the under after this big move, and I probably wouldn't have taken it anyway, even if it were still 54.5. But it's an interesting game, and the other thing is that special teams can matter a lot, and Western Kentucky also has a great kicker, special teams player of the year, the Western Kentucky kicker. So that matters,
Yeah, it definitely does. I mean, especially in a game like this. So
I'd be lean. Yeah, but then again, also, again, James Madison. They definitely care about this one. They're fired up. They want to get the first bowl win. So it's going to be a pass for me. Let's see if anyone in the comment section likes anything, and then we'll.
I don't hate that under though, Pete. I told you I disagree with the side, but I don't hate the under there because, like you said, you got backup quarterbacks, backup players. The only thing I would hate is if you took an under here and then there's a huge hole in Western Kentucky's defense or something because of people sitting out.
All right, next game on the card. You ready, Dabby Cab? Cal UNLV California Bowl. I'm sorry, the LA Bowl in California. And this is one that I did bet, and it has moved in my favor. I hope I'm right. I took UNLV as a dog. They were 2.5. Now I think they're down to it's down to 1. Cal closed the regular season with 3 straight big margin ATS losses. But again, that you can sometimes throw that out when it comes to bowl season. But it looks like that everything is Cal lost their coach. Looks like there's a bunch of players who are going to be out in the portal. It just looks like this is not a game that they're going to care about as much as UNLV, who lost to Boise in the conference championship game. UNLV was a team that had a lot of life to them this year. They went to the conference championship game, lost to Boise. Boise's that's a respectable loss there. And now they're coming in here as a dog against Cal in California. And out of all the 10 bowls that we're going to cover today, Dabby Cab, as of right now, this would be if I had to pick one bet as my favorite, it would be that UNLV get a win down to 1. But I'll take UNLV here. They've got it. Their quarterback Malik Williams. He's going to play. He's good. And they've got the Mountain West Defensive Player of the Year also. He's going to be playing. UNLV.
Did I freeze or did Pete freeze?
What do you think?
Pete froze there for a second, Caps. Take it away.
Okay, cool. I was so confused. Usually it's me. You back, Pete?
Am I back?
We lost you for just a split second. I thought it was me.
Yeah. UNLV. I think it's a play.
Hey, you know what? This is a good one. Since it's your favorite one so far, I'm glad that this is one we finally agree on here. I mean, again, with these ball games, who's playing? What's the motivation? Okay, if you can figure that out, there are angles. There's ways to make money. Because you might find a team that doesn't give a shit. Here's this Cal team, right? And now I know Cal's a big program, but let's be honest, Cal has been in the dumps for a while now. They're not the Cal, that I remember when I was growing up as a kid. It's a team that's not deep. Okay, they were only 82nd in scoring this year, and then you're going to take out why did I just blank on his name? Mendoza. Mendoza's not playing this game. Cal's quarterback. He's sitting out. You taking out Mendoza, their top receiver is not playing. They've got another receiver on the bench. Their best lineman is not playing. Why would you want to back a Cal team that's been struggling, that finally looked a little bit decent this year? And I think that's just value that made us think they looked decent. It wasn't that they were actually a good football team. There's just value on betting them, right? And now they're decimated. They're having turnover problems, and they're going against a UNLV team that, still ranked number 24th. This is for these smaller programs, Pete. These games matter because it sets you up for the next season, right? If you're UNLV and you're trying to break into the rankings all year, that's a problem. If you're in UNLV and you start the season ranked at number 24, or you're Memphis and you start the season ranked at number 22, now you can slowly work your way up through those rankings throughout the season, because you're not going to get that SEC love or that love that, the Big Ten's going to get, or some of these other schools. So I think this matters for UNLV. I don't think California gives a shit. I think Cal could care less here. So I like UNLV as well.
I agree. I will make the full game and the first half money lines as my as official plays. Again, UNLV was a dog, but now it's gone mostly even on both sides. So I'll take UNLV first half money line minus 106 shopping around, and UNLV full game money line minus 105 shopping around. No opinion on the total as of right now, but those are two official plays for me. The total has gone down. It was a low total, 51.5 or so. Now it's all the way down to like 48. But I'd be leaning UNLV team total over anyway. But they'll probably put up some points on that quarterback. But I won't triple up or quadruple or do anything crazy. I'll just take those two plays: UNLV first half and full game money line. Dab A.
I agree. And I mean, UNLV, I do like that team total too. I mean, because this was a UNLV team that's been able to score all year. And like I said, they're going to do the same thing here today. They've got enough people back. Cal doesn't. So,
right. I didn't mention that UNLV also lost their coach, but the guy who's going to be Del Alexander, he's going to be their interim coach, and I think that the team wants it, and he'll be able to maintain the momentum that they had during the regular season. But yeah, it's worth noting that UNLV. I'm sorry.
One thing to notice, you'll see, Pete, when the coach goes, if the quarterback is still there, a lot of times the offense is still okay, right? It's still going to run smoothly. If the coach is gone and the quarterback's gone, well, shit. Now you're looking at a real tough situation for a team.
Yeah, absolutely. No question about it. All right. And and I'm not sure, as someone in the comment section wrote, it's going to be a different program with Dan Mullen. And definitely all my assumptions about UNLV over the past few years will be different in the next season when he comes in. All right, you ready to get to the next bowl, Dabby Cab?
Oh yeah, almost got the
next one. Is the New Orleans Bowl. Georgia Southern, Sam Houston. Georgia Southern, excellent ATS all year long. Their last two games were nice covers, so they have been undervalued and a good program to bet on all year long. Sam Houston started the year great ATS, then they lost a bunch of games in a row ATS. They did cover their last game, and they had an injury issue at quarterback that affected them. And basically you have, Georgia Southern, which is a strong offensive team, going up against Sam Houston, which is the strength of that team. Sam Houston getting a whole bunch of points in this bowl and a low total. I don't have any real opinion as of right now. Something might appear or emerge over the next few days or in this segment. As of right now, it's going to be a pass for me. What do you think, if anything?
I mean, shit, used to, again, I keep coming back to it, but used to, you'd be pretty safe with these games. But not anymore, man. Not with the transfer portal. I mean, these are where if you're a big school, obviously, if you're Texas, you want to get people from Alabama, but that's not how it always works. A lot of times Alabama goes and gets people from Sam Houston. And now with the transfer portal, and I'm telling you guys, especially in the baseball world, because I work with a lot of these kids that go to junior colleges or Division II schools and then step up to Division I schools. Dude, Sam Houston's got people leaving just as much as any other school. Sam Houston has people flying out the door right now. I mean, their backfield, where I just had this, because this is a Bearcats team that you're going to look at to run the football. It's what they do, right? I mean, I don't think they have anybody who carried the ball this year for them coming back in this game. 3 of their top 4 rushers are out. I mean, that's crazy, man. So I guess Georgia Southern are pass for me, but I'm going to just keep echoing the same sentiment. Guys, check who's playing, check who cares about the game, because you will see some of these teams just go out there and lay a fat egg and not care. And it's going to be frustrating if your money's on it. But on that topic, Pete, I know you don't say it, but I will. Hit the like button, share the video, guys. We got to grow these numbers here at Pub Sports Radio. I'm ready to see, like Billy said, push past that 30K, man. And we need you guys' knowledge in the chat too. So if you can share the video, go to Pub Sports Radio on X, retweet it. Let's get it rolling.
I'll do you one better. Create a couple of extra fake profiles and come and like and subscribe with all your fake profiles and everything.
Make one with different names and give out opposite.
Yeah, hell yeah. If you got an AI bot that can create new fake AI profiles, help us out with that shit. Make your AI bot subscribe to us.
One of your accounts will hit at 60% if you keep giving out opposite sides. Trust me, all the touts do it.
All right. Well, Dabby Cab, I mean, I guess I'd want to look further into the Sam Houston defensive players, whether they're going to be, because they've got some very impressive, first team all conference USA defensive guys. And I'd want to know how many of those guys are leaving in the portal.
I did. Let me see if I can find a number for you.
Yeah. I mean, I know it's a lot, but they've got they've got a Caleb Weaver. That's a big one. Defensive back. They a linebacker, Gaither, defensive end, Chris Murray. Those are the guys.
Both of Sam Houston's quarterbacks opt out too. Jesus Christ!
Wait, he did? Hunter Watson?
Did he? That's okay. That's what I was just reading. Okay, no, just their backup quarterback. Okay.
Yeah.
But there you go. But I mean, that's important too. I mean, you never know what happens at the quarterback spot.
Yeah, I'm going to look at this. I would be leaning Georgia Southern now for sure. Just want to make sure, as you said, you got to make sure that if things go awry, or if there's late news that comes in that it changes everything, that you're okay with it. But I think you're right. Georgia Southern again was a great bet all year long. ATS, they had a bunch of guys named to the All Sun Belt Conference teams, and I think my lean right now will be to Georgia Southern, but I won't make it an official play. All right, you want to move on, Dabby Cab?
Definitely.
Next game, Ohio and Jacksonville State. Cure Bowl. This is going to be played in Florida. Ohio blasted Miami, Ohio in the conference championship game, and they've covered 6 in a row. And Jacksonville State blasted Western Kentucky in their conference championship game. And that was, a revenge situation for the loss to Western Kentucky right before that. Rich Rodriguez, coach for Jacksonville State, gone. Ohio coach also gone as well. So the question is, which team is going to maintain more of what they had in the regular season? And I'm thinking that Ohio is the play. I like them at -2. I know the line has gotten bet up. It looks like most of the guys for Ohio will be in there, and the stats and the analytics probably indicate that that they should have an advantage against Jacksonville State. Jacksonville State, a nice team. Again, I love them against Western Kentucky in the conference championship game, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet, and I missed the move. That's fine. In bowl games, you want to, be very careful about not acting too early unless it's something you're sure about. I think even at the current line, Ohio might be the play. What do you think, Dabby?
Yeah, Ohio here. And this one, I don't have as much to say on this one. I did a pretty good job acting like I was super interested in some of these, right, Pete? I am more interested in these ones that we're about to get to, though. These playoff games, I can't wait to talk about these. This one, I would go with Ohio, and I love how you said it, like the verbiage you used. You said they look the most like they did this season. That's what we're looking for in these bowl games. Does the team look like they look during the regular season? And if not, what do they look like? I would lean Ohio here. I'm not betting this game.
I'm going to double up on Ohio. I'm going to take them first half and full game. I don't like it as much as the UNLV bets, obviously, but I'm going to take it. The line is up to like 3, juiced a little bit to Ohio. The money line would be like 155, 160. I guess I'll take the first half money line and the full game spread. So Ohio first half money line, I'll shop around, and I'll take the full game spread. If I have to take 3 minus 112, I'll take that.
I mean, this is an Ohio team that's 6-0 ATS their last 6 games.
They've been a very impressive team ATS wise all season long. Covered 6 in a row, covered the last 6 in a row, and now they should have a statistical advantage here as well, especially with their running game. And I'm not sure Jacksonville State, especially with Rich Rodriguez out, will be fully able and motivated to stop it. So I like I'm going to take Ohio first half money line and Ohio full game. And right now the best on the spread, best line I can get. I mean the first line I'm seeing is -3, -112. I'll shop around to see if I can get something better after the show. Let's glance the comment section. Con Clips likes Ohio -2. That's very nice to see. Very nice to see. And Kong's Clip says, he's talking about the Colorado Miami game. All right, next game on the card, Dabby Cab. Here we go. You ready, baby? Tulane, Florida. Tulane, of course, having a great year. Then they had 2 big margin ATS losses, both of them straight up losses as a favorite. They got blown out by Army in the conference championship game. For that, though, they have been great, and just the wheels came off of their season. Florida had a really weird, wacky year, kind of, right? They started off crappy, and people were calling for the coach Napier to be fired. But then they kind of turned it around. Their new quarterback came in and started playing better, and they started doing better. And they actually covered 8 of their last 9 games, so they really turned it around. The coach's season was saved, and good for them, And now they're a big favorite here. It's a Gasparilla Bowl in Florida, so they have the home state advantage, if that matters to you. Tulane, of course, has to travel to Florida. Line was like 12 when I first saw it. Now it's up to 14, 13.5 or 14. And Tulane Tulane is also down 2 quarterbacks who left for the transfer portal. But the guy who's playing is a former 5-star recruit, a dual threat. They've used him in the Wildcat, and so he's a guy with talent. Not necessarily the kind of experience you'd like to see going up against an SEC defense, but not a complete tomato can, right? All those people like, my grandma could play better quarterback. No, not than this guy. Your grandma would not be a better choice at quarterback than the guy Tulane is going to use. But he's definitely lacking experience against teams like Florida. And if Florida's fully motivated, probably they should cover even a 12 or 14 point spread, 13.5, whatever, leaning Florida minus the big line.
I would lay it with Florida here. I mean, another thing, I keep coming back to this, but in these bowl games, and shout out to Kong, because I know he said during the season the line movement doesn't bother him. And I'm the same way. Line movement doesn't really affect me during the regular season. But right now, line movement speaks volumes to what's going on with the team, right? This is where line movement matters more than ever. You've seen this go from a 9 to a 14. I think it opened at a 9, if I'm not mistaken. Now it's all the way up over 14, and I bet you it gets up over 14. I bet you we see 14.5, maybe a 15 before kickoff. Look, this is a weird thing that you cannot quantify, Pete, and I think I told you this last week, or maybe I didn't get to. I told somebody on screen, so some of you guys might have heard this, but never in my life have I known for a fact that I was going to lose a bet before the game just based on looking at the 2 teams. Okay. When I took Army over Tulane, I watched Army take the field. Yeah, cool. They got a bunch of momentum, all that. I'm good with it. But then when I saw Tulane's team, I was like, did they just go get a junior high B team? Like there was 20 people. I swear to God, there was 20 people, Pete. It's like, I even texted Wine Time. I said, hey, dude, where the fuck is the rest of Tulane's football team? Like, what is going on right now? And then they got absolutely smashed. I think this is a Florida spot. And you're looking at a Florida team under Billy Napier who, really wanted to get things rolling. And I think that they've taken that upturn here. I think you touched on it a little bit, how the end of the season's gone. Lagway has been, just a boost of life to this Florida program. He's the future, right? He's the future, so he'll be in this game for Florida. And he's a quarterback that's led Florida against teams like Georgia right down to the wire. I just don't see Tulane keeping up at all. Florida, and I'll probably make this one official. I'm not going to yet, but I'll tweet it out. I like Florida here.
Yes, I do too. I'll make Florida official. I am seeing minus 13.5, minus 108 at one book. So I'll make that a big book, 13.5, minus 108. I should really double up here because if they roll, they probably stop them in the first half, right? It's probably 31-3 at the half. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I like that halftime for sure.
Wonder what I could get on exact score, 31-3.
31-3.
I'm sorry?
I said, what? Imagine, right? If it landed right on it.
Yeah, and the total for this game, let's just do it for shits and giggles. I hate that comment, but I guess I hate that phrase, but I guess it's appropriate here. Total was 51.5 when I first saw it, and now it's down to 50. Yeah, and juice to the under, 49.5, 50. So the total's gotten bet down.
You don't giggle when you shit?
No. I'm a dabby cab. Respectable, admirable human being here. All right, Dabby. I guess I'll hold it. It does feel like Florida's just going to roll offensively as well, right?
I think so, yeah.
I'll hold off, though. I'll hold off on the Florida team total over, and I'll hold off on and also, that's a real SEC defense. You think this guy's he's a dual threat. That team total under might be good as well. All those bets might be good.
This game might go under, and Florida might score 40 points. That's what I think.
Okay. All right. Huge shout out to everyone helping us figure all this stuff out. Andrew G. Florida by at least 2 touchdowns. I think we got some nice breakdowns here, some nice picks and bets and everything. All right, Dabby, let's get into it. Now we're starting to get into the college football playoff games. These games are tougher, Dabby Cap.
Yeah.
Obviously, all the players are in except for injury. You got home teams, not neutral fields. And you got big spreads, justifiably so, but going up against quality teams on the other side. First game, Indiana, Notre Dame. Notre Dame at home. They're more than a touchdown favorite, about 8 or so. Total's about 50 or 50.5. I'll see if anything has moved. Indiana, great ATS all year long. And Notre Dame, of course, great ATS all year long as well, aside from the loss to Northern Illinois. But both these teams, great ATS all year long. Indiana, that quarterback, Rourke, who is very efficient. They have a very efficient passing attack. But there might be a talent issue because the only time Indiana was a dog this year, getting this many points, they were a 10.5-point dog at Ohio State, and they really couldn't hang. They got blown out. They lost the game. They lost ATS by a margin. And, Notre Dame is clearly on that level. The line is similar. Notre Dame about -8 or so. And, Indiana has statistically a strong rushing defense, which fits in with what Notre Dame does. But again, it might be a talent discrepancy here that would give Notre Dame the edge. My lean would be at the current. Before I hear what you have to say and what the comments section has to say, I guess my lean would be Notre Dame money line, Indiana spread. I don't know. Hard to lay this many points, but maybe it's warranted. What do you think, Davy Cap?
I think if it was a 6.5. I'd like Indiana. And I know that sounds crazy, but the fact that it's a 7.5 is, and the books are standing on it, kind of makes me want. I think Notre Dame is probably the side here. I mean, if you look at Notre Dame just on the season, I mean, I know they lost back in week 2 against Northern Illinois, but since then, they've been a different football team, completely just dominating. They've got neutral field wins. They've got road wins. They've been 14-point favorites this year. They've been able to cover that. My big thing with this team is Riley Leonard, Pete. I think he's going to be the outlier in this game. Indiana's got a good defense. Don't get me wrong. If you look at their numbers, like statistically, Indiana's, especially against the rush, one of the better teams in football. But they haven't played a team like Notre Dame really with somebody like Leonard, right? And when you look at the games where they did step up in competition, like Ohio State, some of these other games, their defense didn't look the same as it did against some of the worst teams. So again, this is a very good Indiana defense. This is a good Indiana team, and shout out to Kong, who's been riding them all season and making money on them. He's been on that Indiana train the whole time. I just think they're outmatched here. I really think that Notre Dame is a better football team. And I think Riley Leonard's going to have his way, through the air, on the ground. I might take Riley Leonard's rushing prop in this game. Or I might take Riley Leonard's rushing prop tied in with Notre Dame money line, something like that to get a little plus money.
Well, the line has moved down a bit. It's the first line I saw was 8. Now it's down to about 7 or 7.5. So, we don't know where it'll close. But as of right now, line has moved a little bit in Indiana's favor. The total hasn't really moved at all. I saw 50.5 first line. That's right where it is right now. Wine Time Sports, thank you so much for being in the comments section, pointing out Freeman 7-0 ATS, the week to prepare. Week plus to prepare. Okay, of course, Freeman is the Notre Dame coach. Wow. Wine Time likes Notre Dame money line, good parlay piece. Kong's Clips, agreeing with the under, but likes Notre Dame to cover. And he says, I think it looks a lot like the Ohio State-Indiana game, which, again, Indiana, big underdog on the road, and they couldn't hang. And they lost straight up and ATS. Wine Time says Notre Dame could slow the game down, which will definitely favor them. Yeah. All right. Going to be a pass for me, but it's an interesting game. And let's move on. Next game on the card, another playoff game, SMU Penn State. Again, similar line, right? Penn State about a 9-point favorite. That was the first line I saw. SMU lost a close one to Clemson in their conference championship game. They came roaring back at the end. Penn State, they lost a close one to Oregon in the conference championship game, but they didn't get blown out. And Oregon is maybe a very impressive performance by Penn State. I'm looking at this, all things considered, one way or another, definitely liking Penn State money line, although I wouldn't want to bet it. Maybe parlay it with Notre Dame or something. And as of right now, even with the big spread, leaning Penn State at anything under 10. What do you think, Dabby Cat?
Well, dang, Pete. I don't know. I hate being on the other side on so many of these, but at least we bring honest opinions to people, right? We don't.
I'm just not sure that SMU can hang in the trenches. You know what I mean? You're
probably right. And when you say that, it really rings true. And I think I agree. The only thing I'll say about Penn State is, and I've said this a couple of times. I've heard Wine Time say it. I've heard Kong say it. Penn State has been the worst top 10 or better ranked team all season. They have been overrated all season. They are not a good football team. Penn State is not a good football team. But I agree. They might be able to overpower SMU in the trenches here. That would be my only concern for SMU. Man, and sorry, I just stopped. I guess I think you're right. I was considering making a SMU official. I'm not going to do it here because
no, you're right. I mean, Penn State is the ultimate unreliable big favorite team. You know what I mean? They're great in the trenches. They've got a quarterback who's excellent at times, not all the time though, but they're just very inconsistent. And it feels like, they're either going to be surprisingly down early or, with a big lead and surprisingly let the other team come from behind and get back into it at the end. I didn't bet this one. I was just saying that, before I heard what you had to say, that would have been my lean. Penn State minus the points.
I mean,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
So one thing I will say is another team that I'm not super high on would be Clemson, who SMU just took a loss to, right?
Yeah.
So here's what I would do is I would say, even though I'm not super high on Clemson either, I think Clemson would compete with Penn State in the trenches. I would probably take, if you gave me Clemson, I think Clemson would be a dog if Clemson and Penn State played, and I would probably take Clemson, possibly take Clemson on the money line. So even though I'm going to say it again, even though I know wins and losses aren't transitional, matchups are transitional. And did Clemson not have as powerful of a defensive front as Penn State has? Somebody tell me if I'm wrong in the chat. But I know notoriously in years past, Clemson's had as good of a defensive front as you can have.
I would rate, you mean like their pass rush? I would rate Penn State higher than Clemson.
Okay.
Personally.
But by a large margin?
No. But by a, notable margin.
Okay.
I mean, like a margin that exists.
Okay. Yeah, I'm off this one, Pete. I'm off this one. I think Penn State could push them around, but I just don't like Penn State. If Penn State wins this game, I will fade the hell out of them next game.
Yeah, I mean, and it's just Penn State makes me nervous because it's just the quarterback is not particularly reliable, but it just feels like maybe SMU's run defense numbers are a little bit overvalued, and then on both sides of the ball, Penn State will be able to bully him around.
Right.
I think Penn State has the best rushing game that SMU's played all year.
I could see that too. Yeah, Kong said sounds like Penn State first half. Like, yeah, because a lot of people are saying they're worried about that backdoor cover from SMU. So maybe Penn State early. If they're going to push them around, Penn State early would be where I'd go.
Yeah. And the problem is just that, if Penn State gets burned, it's it'll be from big plays from SMU, which is a little bit hard to cap. All right. Might be worth a first half play on Penn State and then maybe a live bet or a halftime play. As of right now, though, I don't know, man. I'd love to take a shot with the under, but again, SMU can have some big plays, and if Penn State is productive with their run game, they'll put up some points as well. So I don't know. My lean as of right now would be to Penn State, but I'm not going to bet it. Certainly not going to make an official play.
I'm in the same
boat.
boat.
People say. All right. Okay. Let's and then Wine Time says winner of this plays Boise. Whoever wins this game, I think Boise gets smashed by whoever they play. Wow. There you go. All right. Next game on the card. Here we go. Once again, home team with a big home favorite line, Clemson and Texas. Clemson beat SMU in their conference championship game, but they were subpar ATS to close the regular season. They were losing game in and game out to close the regular season. And then Texas, of course, lost the conference championship game to Georgia in OT. I thought Texas would be a play there. I don't remember if I made it official or not, but I did bet it. I bet Texas against Georgia. I knew the problems there was, I thought that it would be, Texas would be salty and come out and one way or another get the win. They did go to OT, but they couldn't pull it out. Texas was also subpar ATS to close the season. And Texas should win this one. It's a lot of points, though. Double-digit home favorite for Texas. Texas, of course, one of the best defenses in the country. No question about that. They're going to come in and be vicious. And how well will they be able to hold down Clemson's offense? I'm not exactly sure. I definitely like Texas to win. Not exactly sure about the spread, though. What do you think, Dabby?
I'm gonna get hate for this one because I know I'm on the other side of a lot of people I respect. But Clemson, man, I think 11.5 is too many points here.
Now it's 12 or 12.5, baby.
Yeah, so we'll see how this plays out, and I could look like a complete idiot. But I faded Texas twice this year against Georgia both times, and it worked out for me. So I gotta say that my hate for Texas, I don't let it get in front of my bets here because I bet on Texas also. I don't care about my dislike for them, but this is a Clemson team. And I don't like Dabo. All right. I can't stand the dude. I think not using the transfer portal is idiotic. I think he's archaic. I think he's stuck in the past. I'm not a fan. All that being said, he's coached teams that have been here. He's been in this position with Clemson, right? And I don't trust Sarkisian near as much as I trust Dabo. And that says a lot considering I can't stand Dabo, right? So all that being said here, and another thing too, if Texas is still in a situation where if Ewers slows down at all, they're going to throw Archie Manning out there. And I just don't like that. I think that was a mistake against Georgia the first time when they did that. I think you got to stick to your guy here. I think it's just too many points here. Texas probably wins this football game, Pete. But I think Clemson covers.
Well, Kong's Clips putting out Clemson team total under, which is 20.5, slightly juiced to the under there. And let's see, Sharon Pulliam, Clemson first half. Wine Time Sports, I'm not a fan of this Texas team, but this is a great matchup for them. Wine Time Sports, Texas by 20. I think this could be the smash spot of the weekend for a favorite. I mean, the defense is real, though. Absolutely, right? Their defense is not a fraud, Texas.
No, they're not. They're not. But Clemson's offense has been playing a lot better lately, putting up points. And Klubnik, however the fuck Klubnik, however you say his name, he's started to look a little bit more like that 5-star recruit he was supposed to lately. I still don't trust his decision-making implicitly. He makes a lot of stupid throws, bad reads, but he's looked better. He's getting there. And same thing I was saying when I compared Beck to Ewers, like Cade Klubnik I think can play as good as yours on the right day. And if he does, 11.5 is way too many points.
Yeah, no, I mean, Clemson's passing game has been improving, but Texas, maybe the best secondary in the country. Certainly top 3 or 5 or whatever, right?
Yeah, definitely. Their defense is legit.
This is very tough. And so what about, man, I don't know what to think here. Cons Clips, Clemson team total under, Sharon Pulley and Clemson first half, Wine Time Sports, Texas by 20, Dabby Cab, Clemson to cover.
Yeah, I'm the only person I know that said Clemson. I don't know anybody. And that's a lot of people I respect, too, that I've seen make a lot of money this year.
Wow. Look at this. Wine Time Sports says staying off this game will look to fade either of these two teams against ASU. Even though he thinks Texas by 20. All right. I'll have to think about that one. Leans would definitely be Clemson team total under and maybe, I don't even know. All right, let's move on. You ready, Davy Cap?
Mm-hmm.
All right, last game we're going to cover, Tennessee and Ohio State. Again, Ohio State at home, big home favorite line. Tennessee had a run of ATS losing in the middle of the season, and Ohio State, right? Excellent team, but their last game was a shocking straight-up loss as a huge home favorite against Michigan. Lost it straight up. They were like a 20-point favorite or whatever they were. Winner of this game plays Oregon, top-ranked team in the country. And, Ohio State struggled with their offensive line against Michigan. That was part of the reason why they had a really tough time with them. And Tennessee kind of has a similar defense if Ohio State continues to have struggles with their offensive line. And, I'm not exactly sure. It's going to be a cold game. Cold temperature when kickoff happens. I guess I just have a recency bias from the Ohio State game against Michigan, but I guess my leans at 7.5 and 47.5. Lean Tennessee and under. What do you think, Dabby?
Well, I saw Stacks say Ohio State Smack City, and I was going to say, damn, I can't be on the same page as anyone today. But Pete, we're on the same page on this one. I like Tennessee too. I'll take Tennessee with the points first half. I'll take Tennessee with the points full game. Tennessee first half has been a bet that I always like. It's just based on Josh Heupel. You got to know your coaches when you're betting. Kirby Smart is a coach that I like to bet in the second half or in the full game. Josh Heupel is a coach that I like to bet in the first half, simply because of the way he has his offense running at the beginning of the game. He's more of a script coach instead of an adjustment coach, if that makes sense on what I'm saying here. And then on the other side, I don't trust Day. How do you go in there and lose to Michigan? Or how do you at home lose to Michigan like that? How does that happen? How do you get pushed around by a team that you clearly have more talent than on the field? It's just crazy in a rivalry game too. To me, that just shows like a little bit of character on this Ohio State team. I mean, they got punked. That was weak. And I know a lot of times if this was regular season, we'd be like, okay, we're looking for a bounce back. I don't think so. Not here. I think this is a Tennessee spot. I will sprinkle the money line with Tennessee, but I'm just my bets, and you can make these two official. First half, full game with Tennessee. I think, everybody thinks the offenses with these two programs, but it's going to come down to the defense. And defensively, I think Tennessee is going to be able to get some pressure in the backfield, and just a few plays in the back. Just get Ohio State behind the line, right? Instead of like a 2nd and 5, we're looking for like 3rd and 11, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9. Just a few situations like that, and this Ohio State team is going to fall apart. I don't think that they're going to respond to adversity. I don't think that they have the character that I'm looking for in a football team.
Man, disagreement here. Kong's Clips, Lubbock Cab. I'm on Tennessee with the points. Justin McElvey, Ohio State, Smack City, and Wine Time Sports, Ohio State, -7. And Ohio State moneyline Notre Dame, moneyline parlay, -110. Why don't you throw in Florida in there, Wine Time Sports, and turn it into +110 or whatever that would do? Wow. Ohio State Smack City. Yeah, maybe I just have a recency bias. I don't disagree with it. I'm just like, damn, they got smacked down by Tennessee. I mean, they're in the game. They're a good team. That's how they got here. Wow. Wine Time Sports, 30 million roster Ohio State has. Well, couldn't get it done against Michigan. Wine Time. Damn. Man. I don't know what to think here, Dabby Gab. And in the meantime, the total has gotten bet down. It was 47.5 when I saw it. Now it's down to 46.5. Very, very slight market move, I guess, in favor of Tennessee. Yeah, it's still like 7 or 7.5 market wide. Not that big of a move. All right. I guess it's going to be another pass for me as well. These are tough. Kong's Clips, though, loving Texas to roll against Clemson, though.
I like this Tennessee spot here. This you said, which one did you say was your favorite spot?
None of the playoff games.
Yeah,
I like UNLV.
UNLV was your favorite spot. This is mine. Tennessee first half is my favorite spot.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. My God. Res Mob bet Tennessee yesterday.
That's kind of more of how I bet, though, Pete. It's like, and I've told everybody this, like I find things that I think are going to cash long term, and I ride with them. Right? Josh Heupel first half is a bet that has notoriously cashed long term for me, and it's just something I'm comfortable with. I love his scripted plays.
Man. Wow. Okay. Res Mob bet Texas yesterday. All right, let's review our official plays. Dabby Cab. All my plays are from the bowls, not the college, not the playoff games. I made official Memphis team total over 32.5 minus 125. UNLV first half money line minus 106 and full game money line minus 105. Ohio first half money line I got minus 136 and the full game minus 3 minus 112 and Florida minus 13.5 minus 108. And then all these college football playoff game big home favorites, I'm passing on all of them as of right now. Dabby Cab, please review everything you've given officially in this show.
I'm going to take Memphis first half here officially, minus 3, minus 113. I bet that this morning. Tennessee first half full game. Haven't bet it yet. Whatever the best line you guys can get is, I will go bet it as soon as I'm off here. I don't like to bet when I'm on the show because I press the wrong button sometimes. It's frustrating. So as soon as I'm off, I'll hit Tennessee. So Tennessee first half with the points, Tennessee full game with the points, Memphis first half minus 3, minus 113. And that's it for official bets right now. I'll go back through the other ones and I will post them. But I got a little treat for you guys here today. Go ahead and go take Walter Clayton Jr. over 3.5 threes. It'll be a little plus money for you. And there you go. Walter Clayton Jr. He plays for Florida. Over 3.5 threes. He's hit it the last.
Sounds great. Sounds great, Dabby Cab. Thanks so much, and we'll do it again next Tuesday, right, Dabby?
Yeah, we will.
Christmas Eve, right? When is Christmas? Yeah, that'll be Christmas Eve. That'll be fun as hell. All right, Jose Bouquett. A lot of college basketball today. I didn't do a thorough enough analysis to give any official plays, although there's a lot of stuff I'm leaning towards and looking at and thinking about. I know that the tape play of the day, you sent it to me, was Western Illinois minus 1.5, right, Jose Bouquett?
Yep. Shout out to Taint. We have to honor Taint as always. Shout out to Taint. I'll tell you as well, Pete. We've got Stacks as well. He dropped it earlier. He's on the over in the Memphis game with you. And in college basketball, more notably here, the Paul plus 12.5 here for Justin McKelvey. So shout out to our guy Stacks. Stacks.
All right, and Robert Martin, stay away, Stam. Houston State lost 21 players. Yeah, I think I'm going to wind up taking Georgia Southern one way or another. And then Morgan Spooner talking about the UNC Florida game. Yeah, that is a UNC Florida. They're playing in North Carolina, but not at UNC's home court. And UNC is a small dog to Florida. And North Carolina going to have this gym packed. I think Florida lays an egg today. Scheduled letdown spot before conference play. Florida, of course, undefeated, right? But this will be the toughest test for them. UNC a little bit hard to get a read on for me, but as of right now. But Morgan Spooner liking UNC as a small dog to undefeated Florida. And I wish I could go over college basketball more right now, but I just didn't have time to do thorough enough research to talk about it as an expert. Jose Bouquett. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, that's all right. That's all right, Pete. We'll forgive you this one time. I will mention real quick, just for your sake, Morgan, in the market in that game, 39% of the bets and 55% of the money on North Carolina there. So very interesting. Yeah, I think I'd rather.
Yeah, Robert Martin, Tulane third quarterback starting against Florida football. Yeah, well, we like Florida, but that Tulane quarterback is a guy who a dual threat, has some talent in theory, but yeah, not going up against a motivated Florida team in a bowl game. All right, awesome show once again. Thanks so much to everyone who was on camera. Of course, Jose Bouquett, and of course, most of all, everyone in the comment section helping us out so much with all of your comments. We'll see y'all again next Tuesday.
Harbour Acre Cottage is offering the Harmony Grand at Malega Lake, a private 2-bedroom modern log cottage lakeside along Malega Lake. Reserve your dates now on Airbnb.